Hi everyone, I'm Literary Freak 11, and today I'm going to be reading the fourth excerpt from Journey Through the Multiverse of My Mind. So this is the card that I have used as inspiration, and the word was refulgent, which means bright. And I think it just goes with this card really well with the vibrant colors. And anyway, here we go. The refulgent sun shone through the gaps as the party walked. The trees seemed wrong to Sumatra, but the undergrowth twining them was so thick that she couldn't quite put her finger on it. Maybe it was the wood under the vines didn't seem dappled or blemished the way real trees were. The sunlight seemed to glint off something metal high above, occasionally blinding them. It was no matter, for they had to carry on. They had to get out of the forest before the next earthquake. Sumatra tucked a strand of long orange hair behind her ear and used the same hand to shield her eyes, wondering where the metal could exist in the tree canopy. But the branches and vines were thick, and she could only make out the silver shimmer from above. Up isn't going to help us, Maldives said grumpily. His shoulders were broad and his skin a rich brown. His footsteps were so thunderous that Sumatra worried that he would somehow trigger the next earthquake early. They had thankfully been a ways off from the first, but they knew about aftershocks, especially Naxos, who was in front, slashing his machete through the underbrush. Lahua timidly brought up the rear, constantly scanning the area for threats. There were no animals in the forest, a fact that she had been quick to notice and point out. The earthquake had likely scared them away, but the more she looked, the more she realized that there were no nests or burrows, no sign that animals had once been there. And although she had not mentioned this out loud, it scared her. She was pulled from her dark musings by the faint tremor rocking the ground and getting closer. "Run!" Naxos shouted, darting off through the trees, curly hair flopping. Maldives tore after him, the pots tied to his pack clinking loudly, but Lahua passed them, not because she was faster, although her long legs certainly helped, but because she had better reflexes and less gear. She could dodge more easily through the trees, lithe as a dancer. Sumatra hesitated, grabbing a tree near her and shimmying up it. She grabbed a thick knot of vines before swinging over to the next tree, and so on. Naxos looked up to see an enormous hand obscuring the sun. One joint was taller than Naxos himself, who was tall and scraggly. It trailed over the tops of the trees and away, and then back once more. It reached out and plucked the very tree that Sumatra was in. She let out a veritable shriek as she clung to the vines and the trunk in her upward trajectory. The tree was shaken free of the leaves, and she could see the band of silver at the end, and beyond it, a series of bristles. She didn't have long to puzzle over it. Below, there was a shocked silence in the astonished calm that followed. "We need to follow her," Maldives said. "It would take us hours to move as fast as that hand could move in seconds," Lahua pointed out glumly. "It's coming back," Naxos warned. Just as the shadow fell across them, a large piece of wood blotted out the sky. They began to run once more as the giant hand reached down and carefully plucked one of the large violets. The trio only hesitated to watch for half a second before sprinting away again. They skidded to a stop in front of a large wooden wall. "What do we do?" Maldives asked. "We have to climb," Naxos said, unslinging rope from his pack, tying a grappling hook to the end. He couldn't swing it in circles, for there wasn't enough room with the trees, so he threw it. His first throw missed, and he pulled the rope deftly back before trying again. This time it hitched, and when he gave it a sharp tug, it held. He gestured for Lahua to begin the climb, and as she did, as fast as she could, she used the cracks in the wood to speed her climb. Maldives went next, pots clanking loudly. He moved fast, expertly looping the bottom of the rope around his foot as he climbed. "We'll pull you up," Maldives said to Naxos. Lahua gave him a questioning look, but instead of wasting time answering, he tied the rope around one end of an elephantine nail protruding from the wood, and with the help of the nail, Maldives and Lahua combined, they hauled Naxon up. Together, they gazed over the forest of paintbrushes, looking for their friend. So I think that I really like this one, and I think this one will actually make it to novelhood at some point. So if you liked it, definitely let me know in the comments, and there will be another one tomorrow.